Hey guys, Chef Jojo with ECO, and on this episode of Shift Drink, we're going to talk about that saying that we all live and die by, mise en place. It's part of the 5 secret ingredients to find success in the kitchen. And I think being organized and putting everything in its place is absolutely key. And as always, we're going to discuss this topic over a shift drink. All right. Mise en place. It's one of our most popular shirts. It's one of the most popular sayings. It really has such a powerful statement when you fully live by it in the kitchen. You got to mise out your station. You got to, mise en place. You got to really kind of be organized. And, these 5 secret but not secret ingredients to find success in the kitchen, I think has been interesting as we've gone through it over the past couple of weeks in these shift drinks, because people are sending messages and asking questions. Number 3 for me was organize our plain and simple mise en place. I remember what it was like my first day in a kitchen, probably because I had been a bartender for a while, and I had moved around a little bit and done some bartending. And I'm leaving out the days when I started as a dishwasher or anything like that. But this is when I really first started to be in kitchens, and it was certain kitchens were extremely organized. If you put something in the wrong place, you were in trouble. Some other kitchens, were not. They did wherever it ended up on the shelf is where it ended up, and you were trained on how to do a station. You come in and you get this job, and they're like, okay, you're going to work, the pantry station, because we don't know if you can do anything. So you're going to start there. And whoever shows you how to make the station, they show you how they like the station set up. And then you mise out all the product and you start to line it out. And, I think it was Thomas Keller. It might be Thomas Keller. There's a saying where somebody goes, how do you, find success? And he goes, well, every day you come in and you mise en place your station. You make sure everything is in the right place. Now apply that same logic to everything you do in life, and that's how you become a good chef. Might have been Keller. I'll have to look it up and maybe post a link below, because we all love to quote Keller, right? But you get showed how to build this station by somebody else, and you set it up that way for a little while, and then you start to tweak it, or hopefully you start to tweak it so it works for you. And I think that's great until somebody else comes in, and then somebody else comes in, and then it gets so far from the original setup of the station. I guess I'm talking from scratch kitchens or whatever, or just my experience. I'm sure you guys have an enormous amount of opinion on what mise en place means to you. A lot of your complaints I see online is people don't do their mise en place and they don't prep enough, which puts them in a really, really bad spot during service, which then takes the team down. I think that's the other reason why I think it's number 3, because it's like the linchpin that kind of holds everything together. If you go into a cooler and you're looking for something, how many of you guys and girls walked into the walk-in and totally forgot what the hell you were looking for? You're just like, as soon as you go through the door. If the walk-in or reach-in is completely organized where everything goes, it's so easy to find things. It actually takes a level of stress a couple of notches down for people when things are, what do I say, mised out, or lined out in the coolers. It's a deep-rooted harmony that you'll find in your kitchen if everybody follows these rules for mise en place. Staying organized, FIFO, first in, first out, rotating of the product. All of it ties back to the profit, knowing your ingredients and making sure that your costs you're not losing money when you prep the product. And if you have a good team that follows mise en place, then everybody kind of knows where the shit goes. And that's the toughest part, especially when it's time for inventory, when you calculate at the end of the month. Now, some hotels and some other places, they just let their purchases go against sales, which evaluate like how they're doing from a food cost wise. But a lot of people, including ourselves, we still count inventory. And it drives me crazy that we need to get organized for inventory. You know, we shouldn't have to get organized for inventory. We should be inventory ready, because if you're inventory ready, that means everything is where it's supposed to be and you're practicing FIFO. And, you know, in the kitchen, it's extremely difficult because everything is perishable, right? Like your produce and it's your herbs and things like that can all perish in a matter of time. At the bar, you know, when I was a bartender, I was extremely OCD about how I laid out my well. But the good thing about being a bartender is that some of the stuff it's not going to go bad. You just got to kind of manage the product, not over pour and not, give away drinks. And I guess if you're the bartender, not steal. But if you're the manager, prevent that over pouring, if you will. And when you walk into a bar, someone's bar, they should know where everything is. But there also has to be a standard to it. What is your standard for your kitchen or for your bar, or for your restaurant, where things go and how you operate? It's a state of mind. And for me, if you can conquer that and own it, and then get others to believe in the way that it should be set up and it should always go that way, all it does is make the team stronger. You know, when people practice like military things, when they go out and they're working on stuff, they put their gear on their vest the same place every single time. So they know exactly what they need to do without thinking about it. It's just like when I set up my station, I have like a half pan and I have a towel down and I have my knives and then I have a pair of tongs and that goes over the top. Then I have 5 towels folded a certain way over to the side. And then my salt and pepper goes here. I always have like these little nuances for my station so I don't have to think about it. It's the same way I would set up my well. It's the same way I like to set up coolers. When I walk in, I like all this to go this way, and I want all the meats over here, and there's a system, you know, and it's great for the health inspector when they walk in. It's great for your cooks because they know that all proteins are going to go over there, top to bottom, they know where it's going to go. And when somebody walks in off the street, hopefully it's a new hire and they're like, okay, hey, by the way, all the salt goes right here on dry storage. This is the shelf that we keep all of the grains. This is where flour, sugar, and rice are in these bins underneath this prep table. Always put them in this order. Never leave a scoop inside. All of those things flow back to organization. And it makes it easier for people to assimilate to what your standard is. So if you can maintain your standard and your consistency, you're going to win in the end. That's the beauty of it. It all ties together. So, I mean, there's no surprise that one of our original designs, which is what I'm wearing today, the Mise En Place shirt, is popular because it speaks volumes about everything that we do. And we're the ones that mise out our stations, our kitchens, and our restaurants. Just don't drop your standard. Make your team reach for it. You know, this is my thought on being organized and mise en place and how it's like the linchpin to success. I'd love to hear what you think about it. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I should have brought another point up. You know, throw it in the comment. Maybe it could be a shift drink. You can always follow us. You can hit the bell below. You can subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram or Facebook or Snapchat, any of those. And if you have somebody that's made a difference in your career that you want to say thank you to, then you need to nominate them for Chef ECO of the Month. You can send us an email at chefeco@extremeculinaryoutfitters.com. You would win $50 in ECO gear if your letter suggests is 1. If you win, your nominee will get $150 worth of ECO gear. Kind of confusing there at the end, huh? As always, I'm Chef JoJo. Until next time, cheers.